about a serial killer in central Indiana
Soon after police began digging up bones on the Baumeister family estate,
was sparked from the start by Virgil Vandegrift.
Because for you, it went from a simple missing persons case
Right.
to a serial killer.
Correct.
Herbert Baumeister seemed like an ordinary man. In the 1990s, he was a successful businessman in Indianapolis, known for owning a chain of thrift stores called Save-A-Lot. He lived in a sprawling estate called Fox Hollow Farm with his wife Julie and their children. From the outside, Herbert's life appeared perfect. A family man with a thriving business and a home that exuded wealth and stability. But beneath this facade, Baumeister harbored dark and twisted secrets that would shock the world. The story truly begins in 1994, with the mysterious disappearance of Roger Goodlett, a young man from Indianapolis. Roger wasn't the first to vanish. Over the years, several young men had gone missing from the city's gay community. Despite the alarming pattern, the authorities were slow to connect the dots. In an era marked by societal prejudices, the police were reluctant to acknowledge the possibility of a serial killer targeting gay men. This reluctance allowed Baumeister to continue his horrifying double life, preying on vulnerable young men without arousing suspicion. Tony Harris, a survivor who would ultimately play a crucial role in Baumeister's downfall, entered the scene. Tony had encountered Baumeister, who he knew as Brian Smart, at a gay bar in Indianapolis. Brian invited Tony back to Fox Hollow Farm, offering him drinks and the promise of a good time. What Tony experienced that night was far from what he expected. As they explored the estate, Tony noticed mannequins positioned around the pool area, adding to the eerie atmosphere. It wasn't long before Baumeister's true intentions became clear. Tony narrowly escaped what could have been a fatal encounter, but instead of staying silent, he decided to share his terrifying experience with the authorities. Tony's bravery marked the beginning of the end for Herbert Baumeister. His detailed description of Fox Hollow Farm and the strange man he met, who enjoyed autoerotic asphyxiation, provided the police with a critical lead. This lead took the investigation into a dark direction, uncovering the true nature of the man who had so carefully hidden his crimes behind a mask of normalcy. As the police delved into Baumeister's past, they discovered a deeply troubled individual. Herbert's early life was marred by signs of mental instability. In high school, he was alienated from his peers and exhibited erratic behavior. Despite these red flags, he managed to find success in the business world, founding the Save-A-Lot chain, which provided a veneer of respectability. However, beneath the surface, Herbert was spiraling. His marriage was strained, and he secretly frequented gay bars, where he would meet the young men who would later become his victims. The investigation into Baumeister took a shocking turn when his wife, Julie, decided to cooperate with the police. Julie had long suspected that something was wrong, but had never imagined the horrors her husband was capable of. When the police approached her with their suspicions, Julie agreed to let them search Fox Hollow Farm. What they found there would haunt them for years to come. As investigators combed through the sprawling estate, they made a gruesome discovery. Hidden among the serene surroundings of Fox Hollow Farm were the remains of at least 11 men, their bones scattered across the property. The true scale of Baumeister's atrocities was finally revealed. He had lured these men to his home, murdered them, and then disposed of their bodies on his estate. The luxurious facade of Fox Hollow Farm had masked a graveyard, a testament to the horrors Baumeister had inflicted on his victims. But Herbert Baumeister would never face justice for his crimes. As the investigation closed in on him, he fled to Canada. There, in a secluded park, he took his own life with a gunshot to the head, leaving behind a note that offered no explanation or apology for his actions. In death, Baumeister took the full extent of his secrets with him, leaving only questions and the pain of those whose lives he destroyed. Herbert Baumeister's story is a chilling reminder of the evil that can lurk behind even the most unassuming of facades. His ability to lead a double life, committing unspeakable acts while maintaining a respectable public image, highlights the complexities of human psychology and the dangers of ignoring the signs of mental illness. Despite his death, the legacy of his crimes lives on, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can reside in the human soul. This tale is a stark cautionary message. We must remain vigilant and trust our instincts, for appearances can be deceiving, and real-life monsters can hide in plain sight.